Okay, so what if I told you we're living through one of the biggest changes in all of human history? And no, I'm not talking about phones or space travel. It's something we use every single second of every day. Power. And right now, how we make it is changing. Like, forever.
I mean, just think about that for a second. The power for your phone, for the lights in your room, for your entire world, coming from a source that can literally never run out. It kind of sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the thing, it's not. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
All right, so the end of the carbon era and how we even got here. To really get where we're headed, you've got to look back first. The whole story of energy is basically the story of us, so let's take a quick look at where we've been.
So for like thousands of years, our go-to energy source was super simple. Just wood for fire. That's it. Then, boom, the Industrial Revolution hits, and suddenly coal is king. It's powering these massive steam engines and changing everything. Fast forward a bit, and oil and gas take over, fueling our cars, our homes, our power plants. All of this, that's what we call the carbon era. And look, it powered some incredible growth, for sure, but it came with a pretty big price tag. Pollution that's messing with our air, our water, and yeah, our climate.
And this really breaks it down perfectly. The old way, fossil fuels, well, they run out. They're finite. They're also pretty polluting, creating all sorts of waste. And they're getting harder and harder to find. But the new way, renewable energy, it's the total opposite. It's infinite. It literally never runs out. It's clean, with very little pollution, and you can find it almost everywhere. When you see it laid out like this, it's kind of obvious why we're making this huge switch, right?
Okay, power that never runs out. This is the big idea. So let's get right to the heart of it. What is this revolutionary concept that's going to power our entire future? Here it is, the key definition. Renewable energy is simply energy from natural sources that just don't run out. It doesn't matter how much we use. It's like a cosmic cookie jar that magically refills itself. The sun is going to keep shining, the wind is going to keep blowing, and water is going to keep flowing. These things are basically unstoppable.
So let's meet Earth's clean energy team. This is all about harnessing nature's forces, and honestly, the best way to think about these different sources is like a team of superheroes. Seriously, each one has its own unique power drawn directly from nature. And here's the lineup, the Clean Energy All-Stars. You've got solar, which is obviously from the sun. Then there's wind, powered by moving air. Hydropower, which comes from moving water. Geothermal, which taps into the Earth's own internal heat. And even biomass, which is super interesting, it comes from organic material, like plants and waste. So let's break down how a couple of the big ones work.
So, let's start with solar. The real magic happens inside something called a photovoltaic cell. Okay, I know, that's a mouthful. But all it is, really, is a special panel made of silicon that has this amazing ability to turn sunlight straight into electricity. You see this tech everywhere now, on rooftops and huge solar farms out in the desert. It's all based on this one cool idea.
And here's how it actually works. It's surprisingly simple. Step 1, sunlight hits the cells in the panel. Step 2, that light energy literally knocks these tiny particles called electrons loose inside the silicon. And step 3, all those moving electrons create a flow, and that flow is electricity. That's it. And a cool fact, it still works on cloudy days. Not as well, of course, but it's still generating power.
Okay, next up on the team, wind power. You've definitely seen these giant wind turbines, right? The easiest way to think about them is like a fan, but working in reverse. So instead of using electricity to make wind, the wind pushes the blades, making them spin. That spinning motion turns a generator inside, and that's what creates the electricity. And get this, just one of those big turbines can generate enough power for hundreds of homes. And the team doesn't stop there. We've got hydropower, which uses the force of moving water. And check out this fact. It's actually the #1 source of renewable electricity in the entire world right now. Then you have geothermal, which is amazing. It uses steam from deep inside the earth, which means it's available 24/7, rain or shine. And biomass is pretty clever too. It works by burning organic stuff like plants and waste, which has the awesome side benefit of helping reduce trash and landfills.
All right, a healthier, richer world. This is the payoff. So why does all of this matter? What do we actually get out of making this huge global switch? Well, the benefits? They're absolutely massive, both for us and for the planet.
I mean, just look at the benefits for the planet. We're talking about cleaner air to breathe in our cities. We're talking about protecting our water from pollution. This also helps keep global temperatures more stable and, really importantly, it keeps wildlife habitats safe. Just imagine it. Cities where the air is crystal clear because there's no smoke. Oceans that are safe from things like oil spills. It's not just a tiny improvement, it's like hitting a reset button for our environment.
And it's not just about the planet. It's about people and jobs, too. We're talking millions of new jobs being created in this clean energy industry that is just exploding right now. Think about it. Jobs for people who design new wind turbines, people who install solar panels, people who build the smart electrical grids of the future. It's a huge wave of innovation and opportunity. Okay, challenges on the horizon, the road ahead. Now this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But let's be real. Switching the entire planet's energy system, it's not exactly easy. There are definitely still some challenges to work out, but I like to think of them as exciting puzzles for us to solve.
Which leads to the big question, right? If this is all so great, what's stopping us from just switching completely, like right now? What's the holdup?
So here are the main puzzles that innovators are working on as we speak. First up, there's the initial cost. Building all these new wind and solar farms is expensive to start with, but the good news is those costs are dropping like a rock every single year. The biggest puzzle, though, is storage. What do you do when it's not sunny or windy? We also need to upgrade our old electrical grids to handle this new kind of power. And we need to be smart about finding the right space for everything. But these aren't dead ends. They're the exciting problems for the next generation of engineers and scientists to solve.
And that really brings us to energy storage. This is the technology for saving energy to use later, like in giant batteries. And honestly, this is the absolute key to unlocking a 100% renewable future. We're developing these massive batteries, but also other really creative solutions, like using extra solar power to pump water up a hill and then letting it flow back down through a turbine at night to make electricity. It's all about saving that power for when you really need it.
I really love this quote because it sums up the whole shift in thinking. By using the sun and wind, we are working with nature instead of fighting against it for resources. It's so true. Instead of digging and drilling and basically fighting the planet for stuff that's going to run out, we're finally learning to work together with the powerful natural forces that are all around us every day.
So, to wrap all this up, here's the bottom line. The carbon era is ending. It powered our past, but its time is coming to a close. And the clean energy future, well, that's just getting started.
And this is where it gets really, really exciting. Because the people listening to this right now, that's you. You are the generation that's going to lead this new era. You'll be the ones to solve these puzzles. You'll be the innovators, the builders, the leaders. So the final question I'll leave you with is this: what will you build?